All right, now politics over Bharat Jodo Yatra after backlash coming in for flouting COVID norms. The Congress now assuring all Yatris will wear masks. Jairam Ramesh says, since morning I'm wearing a mask. From tomorrow, all Bharat Yatris will ensure that they are going to be masked up. What is the problem here? But first, they have to come with protocols. The government has to roll out COVID-appropriate protocols for every citizen in the country, and then you could come up with restrictions for the Yatra as well. At this point, Jairam Ramesh saying that this is deliberate targeting of the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Come up with proper protocols first for the country and every citizen to follow, and then speak on the Yatra. Listen in.
आज मैंने मास्क पहना है क्योंकि कल मैंने देखा प्रधानमंत्री जो कभी राज्यसभा में नहीं आते हैं वो आए थे राज्यसभा में, बैठे थे सिर्फ दुनिया को दिखाने के लिए कि वो मास्क पहने हैं। तो मैंने भी आज सुबह तय किया मैं मास्क पहनूंगा और सब भारत यात्री भी पहनेंगे जब फिर से भारत जोड़ो यात्रा की शुरुआत होगी।
All right, now massive political showdown over Rahul's Bharat Jodo Yatra. Congress MP Jairam Ramesh has come down heavily on the BJP, accusing the Saffron Party of derailing the Padayatra. In fact, the MP has asked why COVID protocols are being flouted. At this point, the Yatra's entry to the national capital has become a concern. Remember, the Yatra is currently in Haryana's Faridabad and will be entering Delhi today. Union Minister Anurag Thakur has slammed the Congress, asking if the grand old party is above protocols. The Health Ministry is currently keeping a close eye on the Yatra. Sources have told India Today that Yatra will only be permitted with COVID protocols and that it will be stopped if norms are flouted. All right, there you have Supriya speaking to Jairam Ramesh at this point live. Listen in.
Well, Nabila, we are in Bharat Jodo Yatra already. We have seen here the Yatra has reached. Mr. Jairam Ramesh is with us since morning. He is like interacting with people, holding press conferences, and has also instructed all the Bharat Yatris that they have to wear masks. And tomorrow onwards, they are saying that though the mask hasn't been made compulsory by the government, but still they've asked all the Bharat Yatris to actually wear masks. We are here at the moment. You can see a few people are actually wearing masks also. So Congress is saying that there is nothing wrong in following the protocols and the directives. We have been doing this as far as the COVID protocols are concerned. But first and foremost, they have to actually come up with the guidelines. Here I would like to show you, there is Mr. Kanaiyalal with us. Kanaiya ji, live hai hum log. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. I have to ask you just one quick question. That is, government is saying that protocol has to be followed. But the information is coming from Health Ministry कि अगर protocol follow नहीं करते तो यात्रा रुक जाएगी।
आपका जन्मदिन है आपको
I mean, I am asking you questions. If you could just quickly give us answer.
जैसे आपकी जिंदगी चल रही है ना वैसे यात्रा भी चलती रहेगी, चिंता मत कीजिए।
Well, this is what the sentiments over here is. I would like to show you over here, Nabila, what is happening. That's Mr. Jairam Ramesh also. One quick reaction with you, sir. And the thing over here is that you have given directions to everybody that mask has to be worn. Since morning you have been also wearing a mask. Right now we are maintaining a social distancing also. You have been telling me, he's been telling me since morning maintain a social distancing.
Well, first of all, happy birthday, Supriya.
Thank you, sir.
So I started wearing a mask in the morning. I advised the Bharat Yatris. And I think tomorrow most of them will be wearing masks because today they didn't have it. As I said, if the government announces a protocol based on science, based on medicine, based on public health, and not on politics, Congress party will follow the protocol. The Bharat Jodo Yatra will follow the protocol. We are a responsible political party and we don't play politics with public health issues like the BJP does.
But politics is going on. You have said that this is nothing short of a way to derail and defame the Yatra.
This is a systematic attempt. They tried many things. They tried T-shirts, they tried beards, they tried containers, they tried many things. And finally, they're trying to use the COVID argument just as we enter Delhi on the 108th day, which is the 24th of December. This is an attempt to defame and derail. This is the same Prime Minister who allowed the Kumbh Mela, which turned out to be a single most powerful super spreader. This is the same Prime Minister who organized Namaste Trump. in Ahmedabad, which also a spreader. And this is the same Prime Minister who delayed the imposition of a lockdown in March 2020 in spite of advice from many medical experts and the opposition parties in order to give time to topple the Kamalnath government in Madhya Pradesh. So this is a Prime Minister who has played politics with the COVID epidemic all through. And now to turn around, come with a mask in the morning to Parliament and not have the mask in the evening, this is, this is all, I think this is hypocrisy. Hypocrisy must have some limits,
You also attacked Prime Minister saying...
Hypocrisy ki bhi kuch seema honi chahiye, to use his line.
You have said even to the Prime Minister that yesterday what he wore, the mask he wore in the Parliament...
He wore in Parliament and, later in the day, where was the mask? But this was complete politicization of the COVID. And they used the COVID argument in order to... They made a virtue out of a necessity. They had no bills for consideration. They had no agenda for the next week. 4 days more, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th. And so they got Parliament adjourned today.
My final question. The Yatra is entering Delhi. A mega show of strength is also planned tomorrow. But then the Yatra stops. Now, there is one attack coming from the BJP side is that some of your top leaders will leave and the Yatra is just to facilitate their holiday. That's why there is a break. What answer are you going to give them to the opponents of yours from BJP?
This is absolute bullshit.
Well, this is what is happening at the moment here. And just a couple of minutes back when Mr. Jairam Ramesh was addressing a press conference, he was wearing a mask. He has left his mask back there. And when we asked him, he was actually running to look for a mask and finally has spoken to us. And there is also the situation which is going on over
Ask
here.
you,
The Congress is saying that
Supriya, if you can hear me at this point, we know that the Congress has released a press release asking for their yatris to follow COVID protocols. Would you be able to tell us what exactly is part of that press release? What direction has the Congress given to its yatris? Because it's inevitable. They cannot follow social distancing. It's a rally. They're all going to be walking, all of them together. So social distancing is out of the window. What other protocols have they directed?
Well, Nabila, as far as the Bharat Jodo Yatra is concerned, Congress party has already said that first and foremost, government has to come up and give us providers with the directives and protocols. Also, what they are saying is that they on their own have asked their Bharat Jodo Yatris who are here where we are. There are 125 odd Yatris who walk with Rahul Gandhi, that they have to wear masks, they have to maintain social distancing and all the basic protocols. But Pawan Kheda, while speaking to us, said that first and foremost, even Jairam Ramesh in the press conference has said, first and foremost, government has to tell us what all new directives and protocols they have issued. Yes, as far as mask is concerned, Pawan Kheda has gone ahead and said that in the morning today itself, the government said that people have to wear masks, but it is not compulsory. So first, the government has to pull up its act, and they have to come up with stringent COVID protocols to say, and these protocols should apply to everyone. So this is what the Congress party is maintaining. They're saying on their own, they have advised all the yatris and the people who are coming here that they should wear masks to avoid any COVID-like situation. It's not just the COVID situation. Many people are already wearing masks because of the dust. Because when they are walking, there's a lot of dust. So we have been seeing people wearing masks. But now, as far as the COVID is concerned, Congress party has strictly said that whatever the protocols will be laid down by the government, whatever directives will be issued, they will follow tooth and nail. But they are saying at the same time that the entire move is in a way to defame and derail Bharat Jodo Yatra because government is on a back foot. Rahul Gandhi yesterday in the rally in Nadu has categorically said in
obviously, as we see the Bharat Jodo Yatra progressing towards the national capital, you have enough and more politics played around it. As COVID cases now exploding in China, India are gearing up its preparations. The centre has now approved Bharat Biotech's nasal COVID vaccine as a booster dose. Now, this is a big step up in the vaccination drive of India, which will first be available in private hospitals in the country. And India Today newsbreak here that has confirmed this news. Union Health Ministry has issued a new advisory for COVID-19 due to the upcoming festive season. In fact, a booster dose is mandatory, is what health experts are now saying, considering we are entering into the festive season, the year end. It's party mood on everyone's mind. So it's better to be safe than sorry. Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia also, on the other hand, holding a press conference amid the increasing COVID tensions in India. He's assured that India is ready to fight back and prepared to handle this crisis. Now, earlier on Thursday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had chaired a key meeting and he took stock of the COVID-19 situation, stressing on the precautionary doses for the elderly and the vulnerable groups. Prime Minister has urged people to follow COVID-appropriate behavior, including wearing of masks. Cautioning against complacency here, Modi has also advised the states to audit COVID-specific facilities to ensure readiness of necessary infrastructure. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry has issued guidelines for the international passengers. It has asked all passengers to be fully vaccinated before entering India. It's also asked passengers with any symptoms of COVID to isolate themselves.
एक जो अभियान चलाई गई वैक्सीन को दूर दूर तक, गांव-गांव तक, मोहल्ले तक पहुंचाने की सोच और विचारधारा हर घर दस्तक के आधार पर, उसी के तहत कोविड के पहले वेव, सेकेंड वेव और थर्ड वेव तीनों का मुकाबला किया है। जिस देश में केवल एक टेस्टिंग लैब थी, आज उसी भारत में 3,388 टेस्टिंग लैब स्थापित हो चुकी हैं। ऑक्सीजन की किल्लत थी, पर्याप्त मात्रा में ऑक्सीजन देश में उपलब्ध हो रही है। 2 वैक्सीन का आविष्कार किया, और केवल 2 वैक्सीन का आविष्कार जब कोविड के समय में किया था, आज 4 टीकों का उत्पादन देश में हो रहा है। चाहे कोवैक्सीन की बात करें, कोविशील्ड की बात करें, ज़ाइकोवी-डी की बात करें, कॉर्बेवैक्स की बात करें, चारों का उत्पादन आज भारत में हो रहा है। और उसी के साथ इसी सोमवार एक नया इतिहास वैक्सीन के क्षेत्र में रचा गया है, जहां 220 करोड़ डोजेस आज तक भारत के जन को लगाए गए हैं देश के अंदर।
More than adequately prepared, because you see the country has a lot of experience now. We have faced it in 2020 beginning, and we were not knowing anything about how to actually manage it. We learned over the years, and with a lot of experience we did our best, and I think our performance has probably been the best in the whole world. So right now there is nothing that we should be worried about. We have to just switch on the button and everything gets ready.
कोविड को लेकर जो भारत सरकार की जो गाइडलाइन आई है, जो जानकारियाँ आई हैं, हम लोगों ने भी तय किया है कि जो जून में हमारी गाइडलाइन जारी हुई है उसी के आधार पर काम करेंगे, और जागरूकता और सतर्कता दोनों पर विशेष ध्यान देते हुए, जो एक तो वैक्सीनेशन हमारे यहाँ लगभग 100% हो चुका है। बूस्टर डोज लगाने का भी जो है हम सभी से अपील करते हैं, सबसे कहते हैं कि बूस्टर डोज लगाएं और जो जरूरी सावधानी है वो बरतें, और भारत सरकार की जो गाइडलाइन है उसी के अनुसार राज्य सरकार भी काम करेगी।
दिल्ली में फर्स्ट डोज और सेकंड डोज लगभग 100% लोगों को लग चुकी है। प्रिकॉशन डोज जो है वो बहुत कम लोगों ने लगाई है, केवल 24% लोगों ने लगवाई है। मेरी हाथ जोड़ के सब लोगों से अब निवेदन है कि दिल्ली सरकार, आज ये मीटिंग में भी मैंने सबको कहा कि हमें दोबारा एक एक्सरसाइज करनी चाहिए कि घर घर जाके प्रिकॉशन डोज लगाई जाए। तो सब लोगों से लोग लगाते नहीं है, घर घर जाते भी हैं हमारे डॉक्टर्स लगाने के लिए तो भी नहीं लगवाते। सबसे निवेदन है कि प्रिकॉशन डोज जरूर लगवा लें।
Right now we are at Andheri station, which is one of the most busiest railway stations of Mumbai, and we are here to see that did people following corona protocols which is urged by the government to follow these rules, as we have seen a new variant of corona in some countries, and we are at Andheri railway station and we are going to talk to the people. Sir, कोरोना वायरस का नया वेरिएंट अन्य देश में मिला, सरकार ने कहा कोरोना के जो प्रोटोकॉल है उसका पालन करने के लिए।
अभी सेफ्टी नहीं हुआ, अभी उतना क्लियर नहीं हुआ, क्लियर होगा तो सेफ्टी हो जाएगा अपने आप।
सरकार ने ये भी अपील की है कि मास्क पहने, अभी तक इसकी सख्ती नहीं की गई है लेकिन अपील की गई है।
अपील की गई है, अभी सेफ्टी जब अपने आप को सेफ्टी हो जाएगा तो फिर तो कुछ नहीं।
तो आप मास्क पहनेंगे सबसे?
हाँ, कल से परसों से स्टार्ट हो जाएगा सर।
Yes, as we can see, the not many people, but one or two people only wearing a mask here, and others are without mask. And as we can see, there is no social distancing here. As we said that it is one of the busiest station of the Mumbai, and people and government has to make their voice to reach to the people so that people could get aware of it and people could follow the corona protocols. Dipesh Tripathi with cameraman Vaibhav Kangutkar, India Today, Mumbai.
अभी प्रिकॉशन लेना बहुत ज़रूरी है क्योंकि अब सर्दी का दिन है, ज़्यादा कोविड इसी टाइम फैलता है। हर साल पिछले 2 साल से सर्दी के समय ही कोविड हो रहा है, तो अभी प्रिकॉशन लेना ज़रूरी है। वेरिएंट भी नया है और चाइना में ऑलरेडी इसके लिए लॉकडाउन लगाया जा रहा है, तो फिर इंडिया में भी
Let me quickly cut across to our correspondent tracking all the developments for us, Milind Sharma, to give us more. Milind, a quick word from you. Is there any word from the Health Ministry as yet on the festive season? Any restrictions that they are mulling over? We're, of course, all of us in a nice year-end party mood. Let's hope it's not dampened.
Yes, Nabila, I understand the party mood is all across and you're especially worried about that party mood as well. But remember that the government has made it very clear with the PM's message as well yesterday. They're not putting down strict restrictions, containment measures or any sort of lockdowns, not at all. Because India does happen to be in a good situation, but what the government wants is not setting in that comfort mode or complacency, which is why people are being encouraged to wear a mask when they step out in public places, and that will be a very important mandate that will be relayed to the states as well today, where the Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia is going to hold a meeting of the state health ministers at around 3 p.m. This day. And of course, the rules that are going to be put in place are going to be more precautionary because the kind of crowding that we are looking at, the festive season, the party season, that will all be taken into consideration. Of course, the weddings that have been pre-booked will also be taken into consideration. And the mandate would be to, of course, follow hand hygiene, social distancing. Wearing a mask will definitely be important. But we're not looking at fines that could be imposed by states or any sort of city for that precaution. People have to take it up as a voluntary exercise now. Also, the government aims to increase the precaution dose coverage, and that will be important for a lot of people who have not taken their third dose or the booster in India. Now need to take their precaution dose, for which India is also bringing in more options like Bharat Biotech's nasal vaccine. So nobody has any excuses to make anymore that there's pain and I can't work, etc. It is going to be a simple nasal drop vaccine, 4 drops in each nostril, and you're done.
All right. We're looking forward to that. Thank you very much, Milind. More update coming in on the kind of restrictions that India may see. Let's cut across to the Civil Aviation Ministry's notification at this point. Now, Civil Aviation Ministry... In fact, these guidelines for airports and airlines now are sent out by the Civil Aviation Ministry. They're going to be carrying out random testing of 2% international arrivals. Basically, international passengers, 2% of them, random tests will be conducted on them to begin with tomorrow. At all airports, airlines are required to direct their crew members to lead and bring identified 2% international arriving passengers to the testing facility at the airport. In fact, the airport operators would create necessary infrastructure to facilitate random testing of international arriving passengers at respective airports. Passengers will have to go through random tests, and post that, any symptoms or anyone tested positive will be quickly isolated. Let me cut across to Paulami Saha, tracking those developments with the Aviation Ministry. Paulami, this was expected. Here, as we see a global surge of COVID-19 cases, we're seeing India now carrying out random tests at airports on international arrivals. 2% of the passengers will be tested randomly. Take us through this process of random tests.
Well, this is, of course, the Civil Aviation Ministry's notification to airlines and airport operators after the guidelines were laid out by the Health Ministry yesterday, specifying that 2% of random testing is to happen for international passengers arriving on each flight. So the crew members on that flight, the airlines, responsibility to identify randomly 2% of the passengers who will then be singled out, and upon their arriving at the terminal after they've deboarded from the aircraft, they will be submitting their samples for testing, after which they will be allowed to leave the airport after having submitted their correct contact and address details, so that, of course, the local state government or the UT government can, of course, trace them for any sort of follow-up action. The sample will be immediately sent for testing, and if at all it is found to be positive later, it will be then sent for genome sequencing as well to identify the variant of the virus as well. So this is the measure which has, of course, which is going to be implemented starting 10 a.m. tomorrow across all Indian airports. It will start, and this is for which the Civil Aviation Ministry has issued this notification, because the airports will have to build the infrastructure for the same as well, because you'll have to build an area where this testing will happen as well. So the entire process, the logistics of it has to be implemented. Hence, it was announced yesterday, but it will be implemented starting 10 a.m. tomorrow. So the notification specifies what do airlines, what do airport operators need to do.
All right, Palmi, thank you very much for joining us with those details. Very important piece of information. Civil Aviation Ministry now asking for random testing to be carried out from tomorrow on all international arrivals across airports in the country. All right, some more news coming in on the COVID preparedness of India. All-party meeting adhering to COVID norms will be carried out. All leaders to wear masks in the party meet. Lok Sabha Speaker chairing a meet, social distancing and masks in the all-party meet. As we see here, India showing the way. Our netas at this point in an all-party meet have all been asked to mask up. And here you have it. Starting today, it appears that everyone's being cautious on the COVID surge globally. Of course, India not taking this lying down. You have Prime Minister Modi too, very visible, wearing a mask in this all-party meeting. All the other netas too seated there, maintaining social distancing as the Lok Sabha Speaker chairs this meet. These are live visuals coming in the national capital, Delhi, as we see Prime Minister Narendra Modi. You also have Sonia Gandhi seated on one corner, and all the other tall leaders of different parties who are all masked up and keeping a safe social distance. This is an all-party meeting that's currently being chaired by the Lok Sabha Speaker. Here you have all the party leaders adhering to COVID norms, and it seems like this should set precedence for any meetings henceforth across the country, as the Health Ministry has very cautiously spoken about a COVID surge globally, and that India should not take this lightly. At this point, masking up is possibly the first and the most important caution that one could adopt, or a precaution to ensure that COVID in India can be controlled despite a global surge. You start with masking up and social distancing. Here are the netas setting an example. Now, amid COVID scare in China, India is currently on high alert. Centre has now emphasized the significance of increasing vaccination rates in India. Those who have already received the booster shots are currently required to get, whether or not they're required to get a fourth dose or not, that's of course a question that's now looming. So what really is a fourth dose? Is it really needed? What are experts here have to say about a fourth dose? Let's take a quick look at the answers.
Dismal precaution dose uptake at just 27% has prompted the government of India to urge the people to vaccinate.
हम अपील करेंगे कि प्रिकॉशन डोज जिसको नहीं लगी है वो ले लीजिए. ये भारत की पेंडेमिक रिस्पांस का एक पिलर है, पॉलिसी है, वैक्सीन्स अवेलेबल हैं, तो उसको तरफ जाइए.
The question that everyone is asking is whether there is a need right now to go ahead and take the fourth dose. The government has not said yes to this. The reason is because the existing vaccines that are being used in India are not bivalent vaccines. Essentially, they are not going to be effective in keeping infection at bay, especially vis-a-vis Omicron and its subvariants and its sublineages. And that's the reason why experts say right now, fourth dose using the existing vaccines is not required. There is no data also available to show that it works. Unless there is a variant-specific vaccine, experts say taking a fourth dose in India with the existing vaccines would be futile. What then are effective fourth doses? Bivalent vaccines are effective as fourth dose. Bivalent vaccines target Omicron strain. They also target the original Wuhan strain. At present, no vaccine is being used in India as a bivalent vaccine. Outside of India, mRNA vaccines like Pfizer and BioNTech's bivalent vaccine and Moderna's vaccine are being used only from the point of view of boosting. In India, the government is appealing for quicker coverage of the third dose at a time when production has fallen and demand is at an all-time low. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today.
Coming up on the other side of a short break, war of words now between Basraj Bommai of Karnataka and Sena leader Sanjay Rawat. Bommai calls Rawat an agent of China. Rawat hits back. More details up next.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
All right, now the political war of words continues over disputed Belagavi region. The Karnataka Assembly on Thursday unanimously approved a resolution on the border dispute, pledging to defend the state's interests and refuse to lose even an inch of territory to its neighbour. Karnataka Chief Minister Bommai has slammed Sanjay Raut and called him a traitor and a Chinese agent. He's also threatened him of legal action. The uproar was, in fact, it started when Raut previously declared that they will enter Karnataka in the same way that China entered India. That exactly were the words of Sanjay Raut, to which Chief Minister Basaraj Bommai of Karnataka has responded, calling him a Chinese agent.
I'll call him China agent. Sanjay Raut is the agent of China. Deshadrohi. Sanjay Raut is a Deshadrohi.
बोम्मई साहब कर्नाटक के मुख्यमंत्री है जी। सोच संभल कर बयान करना चाहिए। अपने राजनीतिक फायदे के लिए इस प्रकार के बयान मत करिए। आप राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री हैं। हम मुख्यमंत्री नहीं हैं, हमारे मुख्यमंत्री अलग हैं। शुरुआत है आग लगाने की आपने की है। मामला ठंडा था, सबको मालूम है। आपने बात शुरू की, मामला न्यायालय में है। हम चुप है, आप भी चुप बैठे, लोगों को काम करने दीजिए शांति से।
Right now, the Karnataka-Maharashtra border dispute has really raged on for decades, but it's never really seen this kind of heated, violent protests along the border. Now, in this report, Akshita Nandagopal explains to us exactly what's triggered this showdown between the two states. Let's date back to a little history on what exactly is the issue all about.
ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ದಾವೆ ಹೂಡಿದಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ವಾದವನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿದ್ಧತೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ.
एकही गाव महाराष्ट्रातलं कुठे जाणार नाहीये, पण आम्ही माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालयात लढून आमचे जे बेळगाव कारवार निपाणी सहित जे आमचे गाव आहेत
पाण्या वाचून कुठलेही गाव इकडे तिकडे जाण्याचा विचार करणार नाही आणि एकही गाव महाराष्ट्रातून बाहेर जाणार नाही, याची जबाबदारी आमची आहे.
There are border disputes with Pakistan, and then there are border disputes with China. But did you know that there's an ongoing border dispute raging on within the country as well? The Karnataka-Maharashtra border dispute is back in the focus after both state governments have been engaging in a war of words, taking claim to certain border villages. You had Karnataka Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai, Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, his deputy Devendra Fadnavis, all of them fighting it out. So this flashpoint comes at a time when you're seeing the legal fight also being reignited over this decades-long border dispute. We've also seen protests raging on in both states over this issue. In Maharashtra, there were protests against Karnataka Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai, with black ink being thrown at his posters. And then in Karnataka, you had protests breaking out against Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde. The war of words on ground has escalated, particularly because of the showdown between the chief ministers of the state. And keep in mind here, what makes this particularly interesting is that both Karnataka and Maharashtra are governed by the BJP. And yet, Eknath Shinde and Fadnavis, the chief minister and deputy chief minister of Maharashtra, haven't held back in their criticism of Baswaraj Bommai, the Karnataka chief minister. Chief Minister Bommai too has hit back repeatedly. The two states' border conflict dates back many years and has its roots in the 1950s state reorganization. Let's give you a quick recap of what this dispute actually is. Karnataka and Maharashtra were both established in 1960. But ever since it was founded, Maharashtra has claimed that 865 bordering villages, including Karwar, Nipani and Belagavi, formerly known as Belgaum, should be merged into the state. Karnataka, on the other side, has claimed ownership of 260 Kannada-speaking villages near the Maharashtra borderline. The modern Karnataka districts of Uttara Kannada, Vijayapura, Belagavi and Dharwad were all a part of the former Bombay Presidency, a multilingual region. The region, which has a large Marathi-speaking population, was sought to be included in the projected Maharashtra state by the Belgaum municipality in 1948. Belgaum and 10 Bombay state talukas were, however, included in the then Mysore state by the States Reorganization Act of 1956, which was renamed as Karnataka in 1973. In order to examine the border dispute, the Indian government established the Mahajan Commission. This was in October 1966. The commission, headed by the former Chief Justice of India, Meher Chand Mahajan, proposed in its 1967 report that 264 villages will be transferred to Maharashtra, while Belgaum and 247 villages will be kept with Karnataka. The report was rejected by Maharashtra, saying it was unreasonable and also biased. The Maharashtra government petitioned the Supreme Court in 2004 to resolve this border dispute in accordance with Article 131B of the Constitution. The Supreme Court was supposed to hear this case on November 23rd this year, but it's been postponed. Speaking to media in Nagpur, Maharashtra's Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis made it very clear that Maharashtra's stand on reclaiming Belagavi, Nipani as well as Karwar remains completely non-negotiable. In fact, you had several Marathi activists in regions like Belagavi and other parts that Maharashtra claims being given pension, promised pension at least, by Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde. In response, you had Karnataka Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai announcing pension for all of the Kannada-speaking people in Maharashtra who've been fighting for unification with Karnataka. Bommai also provided special subsidies to Kannada medium schools in Maharashtra. The decades-old border dispute has now pitted the BJP governments of both states against each other, allowing both the state governments to score brownie points with groups championing Kannada and Marathi causes.
Now, as the Maharashtra government orders a special investigation into Disha Salian's death probe, political war of words has now erupted in the state, with BJP MLA Nitish Rane levelling serious charges against Sena leader Aditya Thackeray. Let's take a quick look at this detailed story.
She died in 2020, a week before actor Sushant Rajput was found hanging from the ceiling fan of his apartment. A year later, Mumbai police concluded the late star's talent manager Disha Salian died accidentally, a fatal fall from a high rise.
पाठवले असल्यामुळे दिशा सालियांचा संशयास्पद मृत्यू होणे व त्यानंतर
More than 2 years later, her passing has resonated through the Maharashtra Assembly.
ऑलरेडी केस आहे. या संदर्भातली जी मागणी आहे, निश्चितपणे जे काही पुरावे ज्यांच्याजवळ असतील त्यांनी द्यावे. या संदर्भात एसआयटीच्या माध्यमातून चौकशी केली जाईल.
The state government has ordered a special investigation into Salian's death.
एका मुलीवर अन्याय झालेला आहे आणि हे विरोध का करतात अध्यक्ष महोदय?
The announcement came after MLAs from the BJP and Chief Minister Eknath Shinde's Sena faction demanded a fresh probe. Their political feud is no secret. The Rane Thackeray acrimony resurfaced again in the assembly. BJP MLA Nitish Rane made serious charges against Aditya Thackeray in connection with the Salian case. He demanded the former state minister be subject to a narco test.
दिशा सालियन की केस आज भी मुंबई पुलिस के पास है. मैं मुख्यमंत्री जी को, उप मुख्यमंत्री जी को मांग करूंगा कि दिशा सालियन की केस वापस रीओपन करे. असली एयू कौन है, किसका ट्विटर हैंडल पे AUT ठाकरे लिखा है, वो दुनिया को मालूम है. तो इसलिए एक ही बार नार्को टेस्ट करो और सच्चाई बाहर निकालो.
The chaos over the Disha Salian case was so intense, the House had to be adjourned 5 times. Thackeray Jr. hit back at his political rivals.
अगर आप देखें तो कभी भी हमने नेता सदन को ऐसे गाली देते हुए वेल में आते हुए देखा नहीं है जो आज हमने देखा. और ये जो मुख्यमंत्री के जो घोटाले हम लोगों के सामने लाना चाहते हैं, फ्लोर ऑफ द हाउस पे लाना चाहते हैं, वो उन्होंने हमें लाना नहीं देना चाहते थे, इसलिए उन्होंने पूरा आज हंगामा किया. अब देख रहे होंगे उनके मन में, उनकी आंखों में भय दिख रहा है.
The Maharashtra government insists the death of the 28-year-old talent executive would be investigated impartially. But the opposition rejects the announcement as a tactic to divert public attention from other issues. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, coming up on the other side of a short break, a powerful Arctic winter storm has placed more than 135 million people under weekend weather alerts ahead of the busiest travel days of the year. Images of that.
He's the sassy young face of Telangana's ruling party and son of the chief minister. And as a Neta who's become as much known for governance in the state as he is for the fiery feuds he has with his political rivals, here comes the latest chapter. And we should warn you, it involves a chappal. This time a vicious collision between K.T. Ramarao and the BJP state president. A man leading an aggressive campaign in the southern state ahead of next year's assembly election. KTR's anger is understandable given that his political rivals have persistently insisted on him taking a drug test, a theme that has caught on in the virality of Telangana politics. The BJP, sniffing traction in the attack, is doubling down on the drug test suggestion. While the political opposition in Telangana reserves its heaviest attacks for the Chief Minister KCR himself, the elder Neta's children have been choice targets in recent months and years. Last year, the Congress's popular state chief floated the idea of a white challenge in Telangana to test for drugs, cheekily inviting KTR to participate. This had triggered an eruption that saw even Rahul Gandhi dragged into the fracas. 2023 is going to be a ferocious southern year for Indian politics, with Karnataka in the first half and then Telangana towards the end of the year. Expect things to escalate rapidly till then, with chappals, white powders, slaps, punches, and everything in between.
All right, a powerful winter storm is currently wreaking havoc across the United States and Canada. The storm can lead to a frostbite on bare skin in only 5 to 10 minutes. Experts currently warning on the same. Let's take a quick look at all the top developments. A powerful Arctic winter storm has placed more than 135 million people under weekend weather alerts ahead of the busiest travel days of this year. The alerts stretch from coast to coast and reach as far south as the US-Mexico border and Florida, which is projected to see its coldest Christmas in 30 years. Heavy snowfall, low visibility from a strong winter storm blanketing Pacific Canada brought Vancouver traffic to a complete standstill there, with disruptions expected to continue ahead of the Christmas weekend. Black cattle could be seen rushing through the snowy Midwest of the United States as winter storm was bearing down. The winter storm system has enveloped a vast stretch of the United States. Now, days ahead of Christmas, planes at the airports and in skies can barely be made out. In fact, barely any visibility there amid a record-breaking winter storm that is grounding thousands of flights across the United States. Over 4,000 flights have been cancelled in the US. Thousands of power outages that have been reported across the United States as a winter storm continues to impact the country. Countries most affected by the outages in the state include Upshur, Wood Madison and Ellis. For more on that, you could log on to indiatoday.in. You could also download our app. For now, it's a wrap on this edition. Do stay with us. News and updates coming up next.
I don't read the news. I read between the lines to tell you the true version of events, the true story of our times.
To document grief, the toughest assignment for any journalist to be.
From those who matter.
Women politicians going to stick up for each other.
Of those who should matter. I document the truth. I don't distort the truth. I don't glamorize the truth. I don't gloss over the truth.
The ghosts of India's contentious medieval history have come knocking again.
I hustle for the truth. On the ground, in the newsroom, in the studio. I don't try to grab eyeballs.
I inform you to make you see the point.
To the Point with Preeti Chaudhary. At these times, only on India Today.
Co-powered by RK Marble, Khoobsurat Imandari. In association with JioMart, Har Ghar Ka Mart. Presented by धूल आए पर घर पे ना टिक पाए.
good afternoon. You're watching India Today. I'm Nabila Jamal. Let me take you through the top news, the headlines first. Centre and the states swing into COVID fight mode. Union Health Minister to chair a key meeting with states over COVID alarm. In fact, strict guidelines on international travellers coming up in India. Amid COVID alert in India, Bharat Biotech's nasal vaccine gets approvals. Will be used as heterologous booster, will be available first in private hospitals. Now politics brewing over Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra. BJP slamming the Congress for flouting COVID norms as part of the Yatra. Congress says everyone will wear masks from tomorrow. Don't play politics. War of words between Chief Minister Bommai and Sena leader Sanjay Raut. Bommai calls Raut agent of the China. Raut hits back. BJP leader Sasikala and the vehicle along with the house vandalized in Thoothukudi after war of words with DMK Mantri. 13 of them have been booked for it. Pakistan link to Kanaiyalal beheading unravels. NIA charge sheet names 2 Pakistan-based murder accused. Reveals beheading video aimed to spread terror. All right, here's some big breaking news coming in. BJP cadres march towards Minister Geeta Jeevan's residence in Tuticorin. Around 50 people have reached almost 500 meters away from the minister's residence. The BJP cadres were stopped by the police officials on duty there. BJP workers marching to the DMK Mantri's house. After an attack on BJP leader's house, here in turn you have a bunch of women, largely women and men, BJP cadres marching towards Minister Geeta Jeevan's residence in Tuticorin. Around 50 people have reached almost 500 meters away from the minister's residence. BJP cadres were stopped by the police officials on duty. These are visuals, live visuals coming in from Tuticorin. As we see, there's been some friction between the BJP and the DMK netas after an alleged assault on a BJP leader. Here you have the BJP cadres coming out in full vengeance. They're storming towards DMK Minister Geeta's residence. And these are live visuals coming in. They're barely 500 meters away from her house. The BJP cadres there marching towards Minister Geeta Jeevan's home in Tuticorin. Around 50 people have already reached about 50 meters away from her residence. And they've already been stopped by the police currently on duty. Let me quickly cut across to Akshay now, joining us live from outside the DMK's office. Akshay, what exactly is the issue here? We see hordes of BJP workers marching towards Geeta DMK minister's home. What exactly is their grouse? And we see almost a head-on clash there.
Nabila, over 400 people from the BJP marched towards Geeta Jeevan's residence in Thoothukudi. Almost most of them were stopped way before they could breach in, but around 50 people managed to get loose and moved almost close to 500 meters away from Geeta Jeevan's residence. She's the social welfare minister, and it was seen that police officials who were on duty there managed to stop all those 50-odd protesters who breached into that area. It is seen that BJP cadres are completely in a state of anger towards the DMK leader Geeta Jeevan after a remark against Annamalai. The war of word has been going on for the last 10 days between Annamalai, Geeta Jeevan and Sasikala Pushpa, and it was seen that on Thursday night Sasikala Pushpa, the former MP and BJP's state vice president, her house was vandalized, also her car was vandalized, and today morning we're seeing that the BJP cadres had thronged through the roads of Thoothukudi and had marched towards Geeta Jeevan's residence, and just a few meters away from the residence it was seen that the protesters were stopped. Right now we are at the DMK headquarters. DMK has been completely mum about the entire incident issue. They have not been reacting on the subject, and right now we are at the DMK's headquarters, Arivalayam, and we are trying to get some response from the senior leadership here. But we can see that most of the allegations that has been made is that the DMK leadership have been corrupt, is what Annamalai has been saying. And further to that, it is seen that Geeta Jeevan too retorted with statements which is considered to be unparliamentary. And further to that, it was seen that Sashikala Pushpa too had reacted. Sir, so, any reactions on the Sashikala Pushpa issue? Sir?
No, I don't know. See, this has been happening for the past, as far as I know, in politics, there are always local problems. So I don't want to, I don't know, without knowing what has happened there, I don't want to comment on it.
Thank you, sir. So right now the DMK continues to maintain mum. They're saying that they don't know what has happened there, so they will not be reacting. Meanwhile, police officials have filed an FIR, and under 5 sections, 13 people have been booked. Of the 13 people, 1 person has been taken into custody, is what our sources are stating, Nabila. Right now, investigation is also underway on this issue. It is seen that CCTV visuals from Sashikala Pushpa's house had also been taken. Right now, the situation is only getting heated up in the district of Toothukudi, where we're seeing that hundreds of BJP workers today marched towards DMK Social Welfare Minister Geeta Jeevan's residence, Nabila.
Well, these are all clearly political attacks that's gripping the state of Tamil Nadu. The DMK really has a lot to answer, considering they are in power. So you have a BJP leader like Sashikala Pushpa, who's quite popular. Her home and her vehicle being attacked. It's for the DMK at this point to respond to law and order and security situation in the state. Clearly the BJP members there, many of them, at least 400 of them, furious with this attack, claiming this to be a DMK's hand, have stormed towards Minister Geeta's home to find answers. We're going to continue tracking this story. Now, the BJP and the DMK war of words in Tamil Nadu has really led to violence and vandalism. BJP leader Sashikala Pushpa's home and car was vandalized by miscreants in Tamil Nadu's Toothukudi right after she threatened the DMK minister Geeta Jeevan. The BJP Neta and former AIDMK MP Sashikala Pushpa's vehicle, which was parked right inside her home, was vandalized when she was away from her home. In fact, an FIR has now been filed against 13 people for the attack on Pushpa's home and her car. Tamil Nadu BJP has lashed out at the DMK, alleging that the DMK is behind the attack on this leader. This violence comes after BJP and DMK were indulging in a heated war of words, and Sashikala Pushpa even threatened Minister Geeta Jeevan that her legs would be chopped off if she dared to take on Tamil Nadu BJP chief Annamalai.
Last 10 days back, he came to Tamil Nadu, Toothukudi district, where he spoken about the large-scale corruption of the social welfare minister, Mrs. Geeta Jeevan. After this, under the sequence of this, 2 days back, the social welfare minister, when she spoke in the stage, she spoken in a rowdyistic way. She said that in the border of Toothukudi district, Mr. Annamalai, you cannot enter into. She's not threatening me. She's threatening the party cadres.
All right.
I won't afraid of anybody. They knew. The world knew. The cadres she want to threaten.
Okay.
So we are under the leadership of ex-IPS. How we will afraid? For that, I replied that in this manner, if you speak, if you come to the stage to attack my leader, before you come out of the house, see what will happen. For this, they filed FIR on me. But the minister who told that I will attack my leader, they are not filing FIR on that. And also, the minister backing up 2 councillors, she is sending them rowdies, gundas to my house. Yesterday I was not there at all. I went to Kanaiyalal for my party work. They attacked very badly my car. And inside my house, atrociously came.
Yes, this is happening for the last 1 year almost. Most of the ministers also, Thamohan Barasan and ex-MLAs, have threatened Mr. Annamalai, our state president, and they have instigated violence through their cadres. And it is happening throughout Tamil Nadu. All our cadres, most of our cadres are being remanded to custody, even for a small protest against the government. And this government is hell-bent on torturing and intimidating the BJP cadres and leaders, and that is why Sasikala Pushpa's residence was attacked. Geeta Jeevan, the minister of Tamil Nadu, she should have been dismissed for her remarks, for her speech against our state president, and she should have been arrested. Instead of doing that, they are foisting a false case on Sasikala Pushpa. That is what things are happening. We have given complaints about a lot of ministers, ex-MLAs, some legislative members also, but unheard of. This police not taking action, and we don't expect that also.
All right, coming up with some news from Rajasthan. The NIA has filed a charge sheet against 11 people in the Kanaiyalal murder case in Rajasthan. The National Investigative Agency has filed a charge sheet against 11 people, including Salman and Abu Ibrahim from Karachi, Pakistan, for their involvement in the murder of tailor Kanaiyalal. He was butchered at his shop by two men in Udaipur back in June this year. Investigations have revealed that the accused persons operating as a terror gang module conspired to take revenge from Kanhaiya for the Facebook post that he put out supporting Nupur Sharma for the alleged insult to Prophet Muhammad. Now, the accused were radicalized and they've taken inspiration from incriminating audios, videos, messages that were circulated within and outside of India. In fact, the accused arranged some deadly knives, arms and murdered Kanaiyalal as a reaction right after he had put out a Facebook post. And all this happened in broad daylight. In fact, Kanhaiya's butchers made the video of the killing, released it on social media, only to ensure, or rather issue a warning and scare people to anyone daring to speak anything about Prophet Muhammad the next time. This was their intention. Remember, the NIA charge sheet filed in the murder of Amravati pharmacist Umesh Kole reveals that he was murdered by radicalized Islamists of the Tablighi Jamaat to avenge the alleged dishonor of Prophet Muhammad.
ये आतंकवादी लोगों से संबंधित मामला है और इसमें इंटरपोल की पूरी जांच होनी चाहिए और ये दो लोग बैठे हुए उनके तक उनकी गिरफ्तारी होनी चाहिए और ये जो घटना हुई है जो हमारा राजस्थान मेवाड़ जो वागड़ मेवाड़ जो कहा जाता है बहुत ही शांतिप्रिय इलाका है, क्षेत्र है, जिला है, संभाग मुख्यालय है और इस तरह की घटना करना ये देश के लिए दुनिया में भी इसका काफ़ी इसकी निंदा हुई है और ये घटना हमारे सबके लिए निंदनीय है। ये बिल्कुल देश में आतंकवाद फैलाने के प्लानिंग से ही ये सारी देश के लोगों को डराने के लिए ही और आतंकवादी गतिविधियों से शामिल रहते हुए ये घटना की गई थी।
बिल्कुल, भारत में जो भी आतंकवादी घटनाएं होती हैं उसका कहीं ना कहीं तार पाकिस्तान से जुड़ा होता है। इसके पहले तो कन्हैयालाल का केस अब हुआ है, उसके पहले जो पाकिस्तान ने वहाँ की ISI ने मिल करके भारत में इंडियन मुजाहिदीन बनाई थी, उस इंडियन मुजाहिदीन ने इस देश में जो बम ब्लास्ट हुए, ये जितने ब्लास्ट हुए वो इंडियन मुजाहिदीन और पाकिस्तान ने इसलिए बनाया था कि जिससे वो कह सके कि साहब ये तो इंडियन मुस्लिम है, ऐसे हमारा कोई लेना देना नहीं। तो ये पाकिस्तान का जो लिंक है जो NIA ने पाया है वो बिल्कुल सही है और ये जो उसका वीडियो बनाया गया है उसको किस तरह गला काटा जा रहा है, उसके बाद वीडियो बना करके उसको प्रसारित किया जा रहा है और ये केवल इस देश के लोगों को टेरराइज करने के लिए।
All right, let me cut across to Jai Kishan Sharma joining us live for a little more on this. Jai Kishan, 11 people who've been mentioned in the charge sheet. We believe 2 of them are from Karachi, Pakistan. Were they in India to help pull off this murder, or was it done remotely through their sleeper cells and managed to radicalize youth in Rajasthan?
See, Nabila, 177 days after the incident, the NIA has filed charge sheet in this. 2 people, Salman and Ibrahim, who are from Karachi, Pakistan, have been named in the charge sheet. They have been found guilty of conniving with the other 9 accused in executing the incident. How their role popped up? Let me tell you, in 2014, when Ghaus Muhammad, who was along with Muhammad Diaz in the murder of Kanaiyalal in Barbaric Act, he had went to Pakistan in 2014, where he got in touch with Salman, one of the accused who has been named in the charge sheet. Through through that meeting, he built a network of radicalized youngsters across Udaipur, Chittorgarh and other parts of Rajasthan, especially this Mewat pockets of Rajasthan. The sleeper cell was associated with Al-Sufa, and also the agency is investigating the role of a bomb defusal in Chittorgarh, where Mujib was arrested, who was a local of Tonk, and they are also investigating was Mujib in touch with Ghaus Mohammed, because Ghaus Mohammed had went to Pakistan in 2014 where he got in touch with these two residents of Pakistan. So they formed a WhatsApp group. They created message, they shared incriminating videos, provoking messages through which Ghaus Mohammed and Mohammed Riaz were motivated to create to trigger panic amongst the local, to create terror amongst the Indian citizens through this incident. The modus of operandi was shared in that particular WhatsApp group through which they all were associated. Investigators are also investigating. The investigation is not complete yet. It's just the first part, but sources associated with the investigation has clearly mentioned that people from other Asian countries were also part of this group. Through messages and videos, they work like an active sleeper cell. They used to radicalize youngsters, and when Nupur Sharma made that comment on Prophet Muhammad, they decided to avenge that comment, and everybody knows what they said in video, that Gulame Nabi se gustaki ki ek hi saza, sar tan se juda, sar tan se juda.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us there. Of course, this was done deliberately. A video was taken of that beheading only to send out a message of fear across India. 11 people who have now been mentioned by the NIA in the charge sheet. Investigation continues. Moving on, massive political showdown over Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra. Union Minister Anurag Thakur has now claimed that Himachal Pradesh Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu, who joined Rahul Gandhi's Yatra on the 17th of December, has tested positive just a day later. Slamming Rahul Gandhi, the minister has asked why Congress MPs didn't isolate himself. He's also accused Rahul Gandhi of not following COVID norms. Anurag Thakur, while replying to Congress MP Jairam Ramesh, who accused BJP of trying to derail their Yatra, their Pada Yatra. Now you have Anurag Thakur asking why COVID protocols are not being followed, and just before the Yatra enters the national capital, we see this whole pandemic politics brewing. Remember, the Yatra is currently in Haryana's Faridabad, will be entering Delhi tomorrow. Meanwhile, sources have told India Today that Yatra will only be permitted with COVID protocols. If not, it needs to be stopped. Let me cut across to Supriya Bharadwaj right now. She's currently with Congress's Pawan Khera. Cutting across. Over to you, Supriya. A quick question to Pawan Khera, specifically on the number of COVID cases coming in from the Bharat Jodo Yatra. That's what the BJP is accusing. Himachal CM, and now with the latest name that the BJP has added, why isn't Rahul Gandhi and the others isolating themselves?
Mr. Khera is with me, Nabila. Mr. Khera, the question is that Anurag Thakur has come out. He's a union minister, and he's saying that why Mr. Rahul Gandhi didn't isolate when the chief minister of Himachal, Mr. Sukhu, tested COVID positive. Also, they are saying that why the protocols are not being followed.
Does he know for a fact that we are not adhering to protocols? Why can't this government come out and announce COVID appropriate norms to be followed by everyone? Why are they singling Rahul Gandhi out? I dare them to stop our Yatra in Delhi, because that's what they're trying to do. I dare them. Let them try and stop us.
They're saying, why did Mr. Gandhi isolate when Mr. Sukhu
Why was Mr. Prime Minister roaming around attending weddings in Delhi without a mask? I can also ask. He has to be more responsible. Until we pointed out, they didn't use masks in the parliament. Why is the Kankariya carnival still being held? Why is the flower show still being held on riverfront in Ahmedabad? What about the Pravasi Bharati Divas? We have questions. Ask them to. Why have flights not being cancelled? Why are you playing dirty, low-level, cheap politics?
Why do you think they are doing this? They are saying
that's what they are.
They think COVID is spreading.
That's what they are. They are most comfortable playing dirty tricks and cheap politics. That's where they belong. What can we do? They are worried about people trying to unite India. Guess who should be worried about uniting India? Those who are dividing India. So these are the people who are dividing India, and you can see the fear on their faces.
Well, also they are saying that there is a protocol. This is coming from the ministry, the information from the government side, that in case protocols are not followed, then Yatra rok denge.
Have you announced that masks will be compulsory in public places? Have you announced that masks will be compulsory in the flights? You haven't. In fact, this morning you said masks are not compulsory. So first announce rules. We'll follow them.
The Yatra is entering Delhi. 24 hours left. How do you see? It's going to be massive, mega show of strength by the Congress party.
The show of strength is by the people of India. Congress is just a facilitator. And that's what is worrying BJP, because the people of India are showing their strength to the government.
If you could
to
just
their mentality, to their ideology.
A question to Mr. Pawan Khera on not being worried at all about people's lives. You know, shouldn't the Congress take up responsibility and be disciplined on its own? Why wait for a mandate? It's a public gathering. Maybe the Congress could have started a mask mandate on its own. Aren't they endangering lives of the common man as they pull through the Yatra?
Nabila is asking a question. She said, why Congress is not worried about common man's life? You should have issued an advisory that everybody should wear masks. It's about the health of the people.
No, we know what's to be done and we are doing all that. The issue here is, why is the government not worried about lakhs and lakhs of devotees who are coming to attend the Pramukh Swami's century in Ahmedabad? Why is the government not worried about people who will be attending the carnival in Gujarat, or people who will be attending the NRI Divas in Madhya Pradesh, or people who will be attending the G20 programs in 20 cities across the country, or the Jan Akrosh Yatra of BJP in Rajasthan? As we speak, it's going on. Mr. Satish Punia has defied the health minister of India, who belongs to the same party. Said, no, come what may, I'll carry on the Jan Akrosh Yatra.
So Yatra will continue?
His Yatra is continuing. Our Yatra will continue, come what may, unless there is a rule in place, there is an announcement in place that no large gatherings will be allowed.
Well, this is what Mr. Khera has to say.
Supriya.
Mr. Jairam Ramesh has already told the media today, Nabila, in Faridabad, that they have issued a directive to everybody, including the Bharat Yatris, that they have to wear masks and they have to use sanitizers, and if possible, wherever they are in close proximity, in the closed enclosures, they have to maintain a little bit of social distancing. But masks, they have said that he has told all the Bharat Yatris and people who are coming here.
We know that this was an effort done by the Congress post the Health Ministry's letter that was shot to the Congress party, but of course better late than never. Thank you very much, Supriya, for joining us. Let's quickly listen to all the reactions coming in around this politics brewing on the Bharat Jodo Yatra.
ये बहाना है भारत जोड़ो यात्रा को बदनाम करने को और डिरेल करने को। जब भारत जोड़ो यात्रा दिल्ली में प्रवेश करने वाली है, प्रधानमंत्री और दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री इमरजेंसी मीटिंग लेने लगे और मास्क पहनो, ये सब आदेश देने लगे, तो जब केस पहले निकले तो कुछ उन्होंने कहा नहीं। और यही वो पार्टी है जो कुंभ मेला को अनुमति दी, नमस्ते ट्रंप का प्रोग्राम का आयोजन किया, और मार्च 2020 में लॉकडाउन लगाने में देरी की ताकि कमलनाथ जी की सरकार मध्य प्रदेश में वो गिराया जा सके। उसके बाद ही लॉकडाउन लगाया गया। तो इन्होंने स्वास्थ्य का पूरा राजनीतिकरण कर दिया है।
Looking at the numbers in China and other countries, we have to be vigilant. We have to take certain steps, and the Ministry of Health have taken such steps. And when did they take such steps? When the Chief Minister of a state is found positive, who was walking with Rahul Gandhi ji, then only the Health Ministry said, one has to be careful when you have large gathering with you and people are found to be COVID positive. That means it's going to spread to other gatherings.
कोविड का स्थिति उसके बारे में गाइडलाइन जारी की है। देश के एक नागरिक के नाते उनको पालन करना है नहीं करना, कांग्रेस पार्टी अगर जिम्मेदार पार्टी है तो डिसाइड करे, यही मैं कहना चाहता हूँ।
Just like the Congress party had initially spread rumors about the vaccines and pushed vaccine hesitancy, now Rahul Gandhi actively peddled mask hesitancy and also denied the existence of COVID and said COVID is a bahana to stop Bharat Jodo Yatra allegedly. But the question is that did Rahul Gandhi isolate himself after coming into contact with somebody who tested corona positive with whom he was in close physical proximity?
Flouting COVID norms, Congress is assured that all yatris will wear masks. Listen in.
आज मैंने मास्क पहना है क्योंकि कल मैंने देखा प्रधानमंत्री जो कभी राज्यसभा में नहीं आते हैं वो आए थे राज्यसभा में, बैठे थे सिर्फ दुनिया को दिखाने के लिए कि वो मास्क पहने हैं। तो मैंने भी आज सुबह तय किया मैं मास्क पहनूंगा और सब भारत यात्री भी पहनेंगे जब फिर से भारत छोड़ो यात्रा की शुरुआत होगी।
And now, as COVID cases explode in China, India gears up its preparation. The centre has now approved Bharat Biotech's nasal COVID vaccine as booster dose, which will first be available in India's private hospitals. In India, in fact, our exclusive news break, we did confirm this. The Union Health Ministry now has issued new advisory for COVID-19 in light of the upcoming festive season. On the other hand, the Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia has also held a press conference. Amid increasing COVID tensions in India, he's assured that India is ready to fight COVID. On Thursday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had chaired a key meeting, taking stock of the COVID situation, stressing on precautionary doses for the elderly and vulnerable groups. Prime Minister has urged people to follow COVID-appropriate behaviour, including wearing of masks. Now, cautioning against complacency, Modi has also advised state governments to audit COVID-specific facilities to ensure readiness of necessary infrastructure. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry has also issued guidelines for international passengers now. It has asked all passengers to be fully vaccinated before entering India. In fact, it has also asked passengers with any symptoms of COVID to isolate themselves with immediate effect.
एक जो अभियान चलाई गई वैक्सीन को दूर दूर तक, गांव-गांव तक, मोहल्ले-मोहल्ले तक पहुंचाने की सोच और विचारधारा हर घर दस्तक के आधार पर, उसी के तहत कोविड के पहले वेव, सेकेंड वेव और थर्ड वेव तीनों का मुकाबला किया है। जिस देश में केवल एक टेस्टिंग लैब थी, आज उसी भारत में 3,388 टेस्टिंग लैब स्थापित हो चुकी हैं। ऑक्सीजन की किल्लत थी, पर्याप्त मात्रा में ऑक्सीजन देश में उपलब्ध हो रही है। 2-2 वैक्सीन का आविष्कार किया और केवल 2-2 वैक्सीन का आविष्कार जब कोविड के समय में किया था, आज 4-4 टीकों का उत्पादन देश में हो रहा है। चाहे कोवैक्सीन की बात करें, कोविशील्ड की बात करें, ज़ाइकोवी डी की बात करें, कॉर्बेवैक्स की बात करें, चारों का उत्पादन आज भारत में हो रहा है। और उसी के साथ इसी सोमवार एक नया इतिहास वैक्सीन के क्षेत्र में रचा गया है, जहां 220 करोड़ डोजेस आज तक भारत के जन को लगाए गए हैं देश के अंदर।
Prepared because you see the country has a lot of experience now. We have faced it in 2020 beginning, and we were not knowing anything about how to actually manage it. We learned over the years, and with a lot of experience, we did our best, and I think our performance has probably been the best in the whole world. So right now there is nothing that we should be worried about. We have to just switch on the button and everything gets ready.
कोविड को लेकर जो भारत सरकार की जो गाइडलाइन आई है, जो जानकारियां आई हैं, हम लोगों ने भी तय किया है कि जो जून में हमारी गाइडलाइन जारी हुई है उसी के आधार पर काम करेंगे और जागरूकता और सतर्कता दोनों पर विशेष ध्यान देते हुए, जो एक तो वैक्सीनेशन हमारे यहाँ लगभग 100% हो चुका है। बूस्टर डोज लगाने का भी जो है हम सभी से अपील करते हैं, सबसे कहते हैं कि बूस्टर डोज लगाएं और जो जरूरी सावधानी है वो बरतें। और भारत सरकार की जो गाइडलाइन है उसी के अनुसार राज्य सरकार भी काम करेगी।
दिल्ली में फर्स्ट डोज और सेकंड डोज लगभग 100% लोगों को लग चुकी है। प्रिकॉशन डोज जो है वो बहुत कम लोगों ने लगाई है, केवल 24% लोगों ने लगवाई है। मेरी हाथ जोड़ के सब लोगों से अब निवेदन है कि दिल्ली सरकार, आज ये मीटिंग में भी मैंने सबको कहा कि हमें दोबारा एक एक्सरसाइज करनी चाहिए कि घर घर जाके प्रिकॉशन डोज लगाई जाए। तो सब लोगों से लोग लगाते नहीं है, घर घर जाते भी हमारे डॉक्टर्स लगाने के लिए तो भी नहीं लगवाते। सबसे निवेदन है कि प्रिकॉशन डोज जरूर लगवा लें।
ये बहुत ही बड़ा गेम चेंजर वैक्सीन होगा, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ जो केवल 30% जो है लोगों को बूस्टर डोज मिला था, तो ये हेट्रोलोगस बूस्टर के तौर पे इस्तेमाल होगा। और इस वैक्सीन की सबसे बड़ी खासियत ये होगी कि ये ब्रॉड स्पेक्ट्रम इम्यूनिटी प्रोवाइड करेगा किसी भी व्यक्ति को लोकल लेवल पे इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन ए, IgA दोनों का निर्माण होगा शरीर में और इससे वायरस से लड़ने की क्षमता बढ़ेगी। सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट स्टेप है जो एंट्री पॉइंट है, वहाँ पे ही वायरस को ये न्यूट्रलाइज करेगा। तो मुझे ये लगता है कि ये बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण एक कहिए कि इवेंट है।
Right now we are at Andheri station, which is one of the most busiest railway stations of Mumbai, and we are here to see that did people following corona protocols which is urged by the government to follow these rules, as we have seen a new variant of corona in some countries, and we are at Andheri railway station and we are going to talk to the people. Sir, कोरोना वायरस का नया वेरिएंट अन्य देश में मिला, सरकार ने कहा कोरोना के जो प्रोटोकॉल हैं उसका पालन करने के लिए।
अभी सेफ्टी नहीं हुआ, अभी उतना क्लियर नहीं हुआ, क्लियर होगा तो सेफ्टी हो जाएगा अपने आप।
सरकार ने ये भी अपील की है कि मास्क पहने, अभी तक इसकी सख्ती नहीं की गई है लेकिन अपील की गई है।
अपील की गई है, अभी सेफ्टी जब अपने आप को सेफ्टी हो जाएगा तो फिर तो कुछ नहीं।
तो आप मास्क पहनेंगे कब से?
हाँ, कल से परसों से स्टार्ट हो जाएगा सर।
Yes, as we can see, the not many people, but one or two people only wearing a mask here, and others are without mask. And as we can see, there is no social distancing here. As we said that it is one of the busiest station of the Mumbai, and people and government has to make their voice to reach to the people so that people could get aware of it and people could follow the corona protocols. Dipesh Tripathi with cameraman Vaibhav Kongutkar, India Today, Mumbai.
अभी प्रिकॉशन लेना बहुत ज़रूरी है क्योंकि अब सर्दी का दिन है, ज़्यादा कोविड इसी टाइम फैलता है। हर साल पिछले 2 साल से सर्दी के समय ही कोविड हो रहा है, तो अभी प्रिकॉशन लेना ज़रूरी है। वेरिएंट भी नया है और चाइना में ऑलरेडी इसके लिए लॉकडाउन लगाया जा रहा है, तो फिर इंडिया में भी
All right, I'm going to quickly cut across to Milind Sharma joining us live for more. Milind, a word from you on any advisory coming in from the Health Ministry along the festive season. We know several now measures has been taken up by the Aviation Ministry to ensure international travelers, passengers arriving into India are checked randomly. Any other restriction that we may see in the coming days?
Well, Nabila, much will be decided after the meeting at 3 p.m. of the Health Minister with the state health ministers today. Of course, we are all going into the festive season. The mandate and advisory and guidelines that will be put forward will be for the wearing of mask, at least in public and crowded places across the country. And states will have to implement these through the DDMA guidelines that will follow from the Home Ministry. But right now, what's important for you and me to understand is, yes, we can step out, go for shopping, go for celebrations, go for parties or travel across the country's length and breadth. No kind of travel restriction is being currently put in place. People can take their trains or bus routes or flights. Of course, the wearing of mask will be encouraged for individuals. Those who are wishing to celebrate or have weddings coming up don't need to worry at the moment, because the government is not looking at putting any restrictions on gatherings of people. But of course, the situation with regards to China is being looked at very seriously, and encouragement in taking the precaution dose, which will provide an extra layer of protection to those who haven't taken the vaccine, is also being encouraged right now. Apart from the mandates of following social distancing and hand hygiene. So if you're worried that you won't be able to go out and celebrate, or you won't be able to go out and party, it's better perhaps to have home parties, better perhaps to have smaller gatherings and celebrations rather than going all out to places where events can become super spreaders for COVID-19 at the moment.
All right. Thank you very much, Milind, for joining us on that. I'm going to quickly cut across to India Today. Sneha Murdani, who's spoken to Dr. N.K. Arora, chairman of the National Advisory Group on Immunization, who's currently advising the government on COVID vaccination. Listen in.
You've seen those pictures from Thoothukudi where your house had been vandalized, your car.
Power here as a state president of Tamil Nadu.
We're going to cut across to that